Alright guys, so you guys can become better developers today. I'm going to teach you how to make a drop-down menu in custom table view cells. We're going to use this using UI stack views, and yeah, leave a like and subscribe. What we're going to do is we're going to create a new Xcode project and select single view application, and then go ahead and name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Dropdown Cells, and then go ahead and create that. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new file. So go to File, New, and then File. Go ahead and do Cocoa Touch class and hit Next. Then name this stackview because we're specifically going to be learning how to use stack views. Go ahead and create nib file, and then make it a subclass of uitableview and hit Next. Alright, so go ahead and hit Create, and then delete this bottom one because I didn't use it, so you guys don't either. Oh, and make sure this is in your project. Mine appears to have created outside of it. Make sure it's in your project. Well, in your project folder. So go ahead and put those wherever. I like to put them below my view controller. In your view controller, delete the did receive memory warning. Go ahead and make a table view variable and a jobs. Well, first let's make our structure. So as I showed you in the example when we started up, there is a title, a salary, and a job description because we're going to be using programmer jobs as our example today. So go ahead and make a struct. Basically, this is a mini class, a little like it's actually instead of an object, it's a type, like an integer or something. Like it's considered a type, not an object, not a class object. So go struct, name it job, and let's capital J, and let's go ahead and in here let's put a name. Well, let's put a title, like a job title, and make that of type string, and then a description, string, salary, string, and let's give it a color so we can make it look all nice like those colors on there. Alright, and then in your view controller right here, go ahead and create this subclass view controller, and then UI table view delegate, UI table view data source, and then go in here, and we're going to create a array of jobs so we can cycle through those and get each element we need for each cell. So go ahead, and we're going to get the theme. I'm going to copy mine over. Basically, you can copy that. It's going to be in the description. It's just all the colors we'll be using in here, and I don't like typing out all those colors. And also, I will do the same for the background color that we're going to use for the table view. So go ahead and copy that over. Make a variable called tCount, and that's just going to be our tag count for each cell. And we probably did that in the last video, I can't recall, but if you don't remember, I'll show you in a bit. Go ahead and create a variable called last cell. And this can be named whatever. I just call it last cell because it helps me in my thinking. And just create that of stackview, the custom cell we made, and make a variable called button tag. And I'll tell you what we're doing with this later. And make that equal to -1. All right, and let's go ahead and let's fill up our jobs array. And we're going to do this by typing jobs.append new element of type job, and then we're going to fill that out. For string, for the first one, web developer description, designs and or develops websites. Salary, I believe, is 78,257. And UI color of appleTheme at 0. And go ahead and close that off, and then just do that for whatever you want, really. For whatever job you want or whatever type of struct you want. I'm going to copy and paste mine over because I can't type it that many times. not again. And make sure that's right. So yeah, just kind of copy what you did for the first one, and you should be good. After that, let's go ahead and set up our table view. So we have the table view variable declared up there. Go ahead and do table view equals uitableview frame view.frame table view.layer.frame.size.height equals view.frame.height times 1.5, and that's just to make it like really big if you want it to add like a million of them, or like 10 or something. And then go ahead and do table view.frame.origin.y plus equals 125, and that's just to make it so it comes down here a little bit for the tutorial. I would never program it like that if I was making an app for the store or something, but yeah, we don't want it underneath up top here. But yeah, now what we're gonna do is let us go table view.register, and then we're gonna do uinib, and this is so we can reuse our stack view cell in the future. So go nib name stack cell. For you, reuse identifier stack cell. And let's make sure this says bundle nil. All right, next thing is table view.delegate is equal to self. Table view.data source is equal to self. And we're going to want to actually do table view.allows selection is equal to false, because we're not going to want to select the actual table view cell. We're going to select the button we create on our stack view. And set the separator style to .none, and then in table view.background color is equal to our background color that we set up here. That will make it black. Okay, and then view.add subview table view. That'll put our table view on there. All right, sweet. So we got that set up. So go ahead and do table view height for row at, and I highly suggest you memorize these really quick instead of watching them on tutorials all the time and just relying on that, because to be honest, it took me a while and I still struggle with it sometimes. So yeah, height for row at, and number of row in section, and cell for row at as well. So okay, so number of rows in section, let's just do return jobs.count, because we want it to say, oh, we have 5 jobs here, right? And then let's see, height for row at, we're just going to want to return 60 for now, and we're going to come back to this. All right, so we're going to want to create our stack view cell now. So go ahead and enter your stack view cell .swift, and let's just give it some variables real quick. I think we only need to write one for now. Yeah, so cell exists bool equals false, and the reason we're doing this is for reuse, and we didn't do this in the previous video, and I'm sorry, but we're doing it now. So go ahead and go into stackviewcell.nib. All right, so let's make this 320 height, and let's just make it like 390 width. Okay, and then we're going to need to make a stack view. Let's add 2 views. We're going to want 2 UI views. And make this one 40 height. This is going to be like our button that opens it. And 350 width. Okay, and then what we're going to do in there is we are going to put a button in there. And I'm actually just going to copy my style button because I don't want to do that, but it does the same thing. And then put another view in there. And this one we're going to make 260, and the width is going to be 350 as well. All right, so that fits right in there. Now what we're going to want to do is just add these to a stack view. So down here, next to the auto layout thing, you're going to see this little arrow. Go ahead and click that. All right, so that put these in a stack view, and that's what this tutorial is all about. And we're going to want to put some stuff in here as well. So put a name label, or a title label rather. And salary. And a job description, and then put a UI text view in there as well for the job description. Okay, so now that we're in our cell and we've got that all taken care of, hit Assistant Editor, and this will bring up our stack view cell. Connect your first view as the open view, and go ahead and put your other view in there as the stuff view. It's going to hold our stuff. In the stuff view, we're going to do this a little different. Go ahead and put a thing like that, and then type in did set, and stuff view dot is hidden is equal to true, because we're going to want to hide the stack view, right? We don't want it to display that. And then make the alpha 0 as well. All right, so now what we're going to want to do is connect all these individual things. So for the job title button, go ahead and just call that open. And make sure there's an equal sign here. And then connect all these how you would like. I'm going to call my name, my salary. All right, go back into your view controller and just copy the background color thing variable and just put it in here so we can use it. And then in your awake from nib, just go ahead and go self.contentView.background color is equal to background color. And then go ahead and we're going to create an animation function so we can actually animate it. And then that will be it for this cell. So just follow as I do. Okay, so animate. We're going to want to take a variable called duration, and that's going to be double. And then we're going to have an escape closure and a completion method. And then in here go uiview.animate keyframes. And then with duration, type in duration, our duration parameter, and then delay, hit 0, and then options, calculation mode, paste. And then go to animations and just put an open curly bracket and then close curly bracket. And then in here, we're going to add some keyframes. Go uiview.add keyframe with relative start time 0 and duration. And then animations, open curly bracket, close curly bracket. You can see why I don't say curly bracket that often. Self.stuffView.isHidden is equal to not self.stuffView.isHidden. And that's going to make it so we unhide it. Self.stuffView.alpha is equal to 1. Self.stuffView.alpha is equal to 0.5. That's just going to give it a nice little fade in. And then go else self.stuffView.alpha is equal to 1. So yeah, it'll give us a nice fade out and a fade in. And for the completion, just type in open curly bracket, close curly bracket. I can talk. And right here before completion, do an open parentheses and finished, and then bool, and then say in. And we're going to want to do this before the curly bracket. And then do in, and then type in print, animation complete. And then call our completion method. which is called C up here. And you can name that whatever you want as long as these two match. All right, so now that we got this cell set up, go ahead and exit out of the assistant editor. And in here, we're just going to want to give it a name that we can reuse it with. So right here, for use identifier, type in stackview_cell. Okay, and then once you got that done, go back to viewcontroller.swift. And we're actually going to want to change this to stackview_cell as well. And then this to stackview_cell as well right here in tableview.register uinib. Okay, I just increased the font really quick so you guys can see it better. I just noticed that. I should probably do that. All right, so in here in tableview cell for row at, go ahead and type in let cells equal to tableview.dq reusable cell with identifier, and choose this one, the second one, string index path, and then type in stackview_cell like we just did above, and for index path, just type in index path because that's going to be the current index path as stackcell or stackviewcell. Darn it. Okay. And then we created a variable called cell exists in the cell.swift. Go back and check that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, now just type cell.textView. This is going to be the description. We should have called it like description or something. .text is equal to jobs at index path row description, and then cell.salary.text is equal to salary jobs at index path row salary, and then go ahead and copy and paste that. And for salary this time, just do name, and right here do title, and right here do title. All right, so next thing we're going to want to do is set up the title on the button to open it. Cell.open.setTitle jobs at index path row name title, and then type in for.normal cell open. Okay, cell.open view background color is equal to jobs at index path row color. Cell.stuff view background color jobs at index path row color. Okay, now cell.open.tag is equal to t count. That's what our t count variable will do. So keep a tag on it. Cell.open.add target, and then we're gonna type that method right now that we're gonna need, and that's gonna be called cell opened. Let's go ahead and move this up here because we kind of need to view that close to our code. So go ahead and type in function cell opened, and then give it a parameter of sender, and then do UI button self.tableview.begin updates. This is what's going to help us animate the height row change, and then type in self.tableview.end updates, and then between that we're going to do all of our crap. So go ahead and type in let previous cell tag equal button tag, and then if last cell, the cell we made up top, exists, self.lastCell.animate, and then that's going to call our animation function we wrote. And what's cool about that is our parameters right there that we wrote of duration. And then just type in 0.02, and then for the completion method, this is going to run every time the animation completes in the method within our stack view cell. go ahead and type self.view.layout if needed. And the next thing we're going to do is if sender.tag is equal to button tag is equal to -1, and last cell equals stack cell. And what this is doing is saying, okay, if the person closed it, we don't want any of them to expand to be the size of an open stack cell. That might not make a whole bunch of sense now, but if you just practice and keep doing this kind of stuff, it will. Sender.tag equals previous cell tag, because we might have changed it to -1. So we got to keep that in a temporary variable up here. Previous cell tag, then go ahead and change that to stackview by the way. And then in here, we're going to go button tag is equal to sender.tag. And in here, we'll type in last cell is equal to table view dot cell for row at index path. And we're just retrieving the cell so we can animate it. Row button tag section 0. That will give us our index path as stack view cell. Then in here go last, or we can actually copy and paste this. And then for duration, just put 0.5. And for our completion, let's go ahead and, actually we're just going to leave that. All right, so that's all you need for the cell opened. And then for our height well, let's actually finish this add target. So for our add target, just type in self selector, hashtag selector cell opened, and then pass in sender as a parameter. All right, and then do for.touchup inside. Now it'll tell us it's a button basically. And then t count plus equals 1, and cell.cell exists is equal to true. And then next thing we're going to do is we are going to want to do uiview.animate with duration. That's a big one. Animate uiview.animate with duration 0. Cell.contentView.layout if needed. All right, and now finally return the cell. All right, so basically it's going to say if the cell exists, then do not do this. Just return the dequeued cell, so we don't like recreate any. And if the cell has not been created yet, we got to give it all of its crap. And that's good if we like need to change anything in the future. Like if we change something in the text view, and then we ran this and it didn't have this, it would replace it with this old stuff that's supposed to be in the text view. So yeah, let's definitely do that. And then last thing we're going to want to do in here, I think, instead of return 60, we're going to want to double check in here. Instead of return 60, let's go ahead and do if indexPath.row is equal to button tag, return 320, else return 60. All right, and just in the view did load, type in view.background color is equal to background color. All right, and then to give it that nice round effect, we're going to want to go in here and let's make this button a little bigger so it detects it every time we're pressing it. But in here on each view, or actually on each view, go ahead and go into user-defined runtime attributes, type in layer.masks to bounds and set that to true. And then do layer.corner radius and then set this to integer, or number rather, and do 10. That's a good number. And then do the same exact thing for stuff view. So layer.masks to bounds, layer.corner radius 10. All right, so that sets that up. Go ahead and click stack view. And for spacing, put that up to, that's going to be in here, by the way. Go ahead and put that like 10. And then go ahead and build. All right, cool. So that's working great. Looks like it's working pretty awesome. And yeah, if you want to add a button, just go ahead and add a button in here and just connect that into your stackview code, and you can do a lot of great things with this. And the source code's in the description if you want. There's a link to it in the description if you want to get it all automated for auto layout. It's set up for that. And yeah, stay tuned. Please subscribe and like the video, and I'll get back at you with more content and some unboxings, maybe some reviews, and maybe some daily vlogs. I don't know. But yeah, have a great day.